What's up everyone, Rapid Reform here. So I recently uploaded a video about animal agriculture and the devastating effects it can have for the environment, our health, and for the animals, and I'll put a link to it in the description. If you have not seen that video, stop right now and go watch it until the very end, because this video is meaningless without it. But if you have seen it, you'll know that I am vegan, and I strongly believe that switching to a vegan lifestyle is the #1 most life-changing change that you can make to fight climate change, improve your health, and preserve animal welfare rights. But there's a lot of doubt behind going vegan. Since we were kids, many of us have grown up in a culture where we are told to eat meat and dairy, especially if you live in the United States. It's considered normal and good for us, and because of this, a lot of us are skeptical of becoming vegan and the changes it would bring to our lives. I cannot pressure or force you to be vegan, but if you think you want to switch to a whole foods plant-based diet, or if you're trying to include more plant-based foods into your diet, or even if you just want to eat healthier, this video is for you. We will debunk 3 of the most common drawbacks many of us have with veganism, and then we will talk about how you can transition into a vegan lifestyle. And afterwards, I will give you some tips and resources which will help you maintain your new way of living. So let's get into it. Myth number 1, vegan food does not taste good. When most of us think about being vegan, we instantly think about all of the foods we can't have anymore. People will say, oh no, I can't have chicken, steak, eggs, milk, ice cream, and anything else they can come up with. Here's the thing, when you become vegan, you do not get rid of all the foods you have been eating. You simply substitute them for plant-based options. So the first thing I recommend is going into it with an open mind. Because if you think about all of the bad things about veganism, then you'll never be happy with yourself. In fact, you can make a vegan version of just about any food that you already eat. Brownies? Check. Pizzas? Yup. Cookies? You got it. And as far as taste goes, we all have different opinions on what tastes good. I get it. When you first start out with being vegan, the food you cook or get at a restaurant may not be your favorite dish. But like anything else, the more time you spend being vegan, the more you learn, and the better you will get at cooking and making decisions when you go out. There are thousands of vegan recipes out there, and I'm still learning a lot about cooking vegan food to this day. I've tasted hundreds of delicious vegan dishes. A lot of them I think are even better than dishes with meat and dairy in them. Just remember that taste is a mindset above all else. So go into it with an open mind, knowing that you are eating healthy and that it will only get better with time. Speaking of healthy food, another common myth is that vegan food does not give us everything that meat and dairy can give us, which is not true at all. All of the meat and dairy you eat comes from animals who eat plants throughout their lives. That means that whatever nutrients you can get from meat and dairy, you could get by directly eating plants. For example, most of us eat meat for protein, right? Well, you can also get that from tofu, lentils, chickpeas, beans, quinoa, almonds, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds. The list goes on and on. And if you consume dairy, it's probably for the calcium, right? Well, you can get that from soy, lentils, walnuts, pistachios, okra, kale, broccoli, oranges, among many other choices. Again, the more time you spend being vegan, the more you will learn about the nutritional value of the foods you eat. And if you are on a certain type of diet such as low carb, high fat, high protein, or any other combination, just do your research and I guarantee you will find plenty of options and combinations that will work for you. So try it as much as you can and find out what you like. Myth number 3, being vegan is expensive. Maybe you've had or seen an Impossible Burger, which is a burger patty that is entirely made from plants, and it was a lot more expensive than a beef burger. But you must realize that just because one or a few vegan items are expensive does not mean all of them are like that. It may be expensive when you first start out since you are likely not aware of all the options you have, but as always, you will learn about prices at various grocery stores and supermarkets near where you live the more you go to them and pay attention to what you purchase. And here's something else you didn't know. When you purchase meat and dairy products, the price you pay does not always cover the subsidies that went into making that. So governments have to make up for those subsidies with taxes, which everyone has to pay, even if they don't eat animal products. The bottom line is, you must go into veganism with an open mind, and the cost of it will go down as long as you stay consistent and take the opportunity to learn. Alright, those are the 3 major drawbacks that most people have with being vegan. If you've made it this far in this video, I want to thank you for having an open mind about veganism, which not everyone has. So if you are still confident that you want to live on a plant-based lifestyle, let's talk about how to get there. If you've been eating meat and dairy a lot throughout your life, you can theoretically cut it all out right away. But some people will have a better transition when they slowly replace what they eat with plant-based sources over time. If you eat meat and eggs, the first step I recommend is to get comfortable with a vegetarian diet. You can start out by buying what is known as mock meats, which is normally tofu that is flavored to taste like meat. And then you can start including other protein sources like beans, lentils, and chickpeas. And remember that if you feel hungry, then eat as much as you want. There is no pressure to eat less when you are adjusting to the new lifestyle. But remember, you are not getting rid of the food in your diet, but you're just replacing it. Let's say you eat meat and eggs twice a day. Over 1 week, try getting comfortable with eating them just once a day. In the next week, go for 3 times a week, then once a week, and then finally eliminate it. Of course, you should adjust as necessary depending on how much meat you currently eat. I promise you that if you commit to yourself being vegan and stay consistent, then eliminating meat from your diet will not be as hard as you may think. Don't give up and keep going until you can declare yourself as a vegetarian. And once you have reached vegetarianism, the next step is to slowly cut out dairy. Just like with meat, you should take it as slowly as you need to, as long as you stay consistent. You can replace milk with soy milk, coconut milk, or almond milk. And there are dairy-free versions of cheese, yogurt, butter, as well as ice cream and other desserts. Over time, you can start incorporating more nuts, beans, green veggies, and fruits into your diet. If you eat dairy 3 times a day, try to go for a week with eating it just twice a day, maybe during breakfast and dinner. Then go a week with just 1 serving of dairy a day, followed by a week of just 3 servings of dairy, and then just 1 serving of dairy in the following week before you are able to cut it all out. Again, it's all about staying committed and consistent, and you will eventually find out what works for you with time. Okay, now that we have talked about how you can slowly transition into a vegan diet, I want to share some bonus tips with you that will help you transition as well as maintain this new lifestyle. One important tip to remember is why you are vegan. Maybe you are doing it for the environment, your health, for the animals, or even for religious reasons. I wouldn't necessarily recommend being vegan just because it may seem cool or interesting. By having a compelling why, you will be able to communicate with confidence to others as well as avoid food that may look delicious but has animal products in it. Personally, if I see food that looks and smells amazing but has meat or dairy in it, I take a second to remember where that food came from, realizing that I should not be selfish just because it may taste good. At the end of the day, I feel good that I had more consideration for my health, for the environment, and an animal's life than I did for my taste buds. What are your reasons for being vegan? Comment below and let me know. Now, there are 2 nutrients which I want to talk about which have commonly gotten attention for being deficient in a vegan diet. The first is vitamin B12, which is essential for your nervous system and making red blood cells, among other functions. Some foods which can give you vitamin B12 are soy products, oatmeal, organic veggies, and fruits. Otherwise, I would recommend taking a supplement, which you can find in many chain stores. The other nutrient which can potentially be deficient in a vegan diet is vitamin D, which is mostly important for maintaining your bones and immune system. Personally, I think the best way to get vitamin D is by walking in natural sunlight where it is not too hot or bright, which is also great for your skin as well. And you can also get vitamin D from tofu, soy products, and mushrooms. Or you can take a supplement just like with vitamin B12. Another thing we should talk about is the judgment you will likely get from other people. Ever since I went vegan, I have gotten a ton of hate from it from my friends and even my family. People always tell me things like I'm missing out, or that I don't eat healthy, or that I'm not normal, or that I'm weak because I don't have the will to hurt an animal for myself. Some people even love to call me out if they see me eating a small amount of dairy on rare occasion and that I'm not truly vegan. Let me make this clear. If you accidentally eat meat or dairy here and there, it is seriously okay. Even I happen to eat animal products once in a while. Maybe because I'm traveling and I want to try out authentic food, because I'm at a restaurant that has nothing vegan on the menu, or because the situation is just way too tight. With that said, almost 99% of what I do eat is vegan. So what matters is that I stay consistent knowing that being vegan is a win in every situation for me. So if you mess up here and there, don't beat yourself about it. Carry on and live your vegan lifestyle as much as you can. And another important note with being vegan and life in general is do not give in to what other people think of you. Your character and who you are as a person is much more important than the opinions that other people have about you. So be invested in yourself before anyone else while still giving respect to those around you. In fact, maybe it would help to find other vegans in your community. Join a Facebook group, a community club, or anything else that you can find that will surround you with like-minded people. And you're probably going to make some friends in the process as well. Alright guys, that's all I have for helping you transition into and maintain a vegan lifestyle, or even if you're just trying to get into a healthier diet. So let's recap what we talked about. There are 3 common myths with being vegan. They are that vegan food does not taste good, that being vegan does not give us all the nutrients we need, and that being vegan is expensive. The solution to these drawbacks is to have an open mind about veganism, knowing that you are not taking away what you eat, but just replacing it. And also remember that the more time you spend being vegan, the more you will learn, and the better, healthier, and cheaper it will become for you as long as you stay consistent and committed. To transition into a vegan diet, you should first consider transitioning into a vegetarian diet. You can substitute meat with mock meats, as well as chickpeas, lentils, and other high-protein foods. Then gradually cut out meat and eggs from your diet week by week until you are comfortable with being vegetarian. And afterwards, you can then focus on cutting out dairy with foods like soy, as well as dairy-free versions of cheese, desserts, and so on. Just like with meat and eggs, work on gradually decreasing the amount of dairy from your diet week by week until you have fully gone vegan. And some bonus tips we talked about were: have a reason why you are vegan, use supplements for vitamin B12 and vitamin D as necessary. And finally, you can avoid judgment from others by staying true to your character and prioritizing your perception of yourself over other people's perception of you. For more support, try getting in touch with other vegans online or near where you live. Did you find this video helpful? If you did, it would be awesome if you left a like down below. If you want to learn more about veganism or why you may want to go vegan, some documentaries that you can watch, which are all available on Netflix, are Cowspiracy, Forks Over Knives, and The Game Changers. Some websites you can look at are vegansociety.com and peta.org/living/food. If you want to learn some vegan recipes, I recommend looking at some of the hundreds of YouTube videos and Pinterest reports that can help you find anything you are looking for. Otherwise, if you have any questions, please comment below and I will answer as many as I can. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and turn on notifications to rapidly reform your life for the better. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and enjoy being vegan.